Hey, how's it going? This is episode 2 of the Rare Potion Podcast. On today's episode, I'm joined with Nova, as always. We talk about some of the new monsters that we saw in the recent trailer, monsters like the Espinas. We also talk about the new trailer in general, and somehow we end up talking about Monster Hunter Tri. If all of that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned.
So the recent trailer, when that came out, when it feels like
It was like
so
a while
recent,
ago.
like a couple of days ago,
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, couple days. It feels like yesterday. I'll be honest, I'm like super stoked.
Yeah, man. Like, what did we get? Let's start from the beginning. So they revealed to us the jungle map. So
Right.
jungle's returning. How do you feel about that?
I love it. The jungle map's actually pretty interesting because it's such a small map. Because I played the demo or whatever, right? It's like a small map, but it's stacked. But it's not as bad as the Ancient Forest from World. Because like the Ancient Forest was stacked, but it was like so much.
Well, the thing about the ancient forest and a lot of the world maps is like the maps are stacked, but they're stacked in the places you actually fight. While Rise maps are stacked, but they're stacked in the in-between places, if you know what I mean. So maybe like, you're running up walls, you're running over things. That's where it's, you might see quite a lot of things, but you don't really see, you don't fight in like with 10 trees surrounding you that you can barely see anything. Unless you find like, I think the North Camp, basically, in not North Camp, the North area in the jungle. Like mostly it's quite clear view, which is nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. I do like how where 10 is, like the old island or whatever, how it has that crack in the like ancient dilapidated building or whatever, and you go underneath the map, that second layer, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Never really thought they would have done something like that. One thing I will say that maybe I'm just slightly disappointed with, maybe, is how far the island is, because I thought it would have been a bit further, because it doesn't look that far when you actually go up there. It actually looks like it's much closer than you would expect. Like, because I played a lot of GU, right, and like the jungles are, it's in that game as well. I think it's from second gen, but
yeah, from second
like
gen.
it looks so far away, but it's actually pretty close in Sunbreak. But I mean,
Yeah,
I'll get used to it.
Yeah, it's a little too close, isn't it? I thought that too. I didn't really think about it. Like, I think I thought about it like offhand. I was like, oh, it's a little closer for 10, huh? Because like when you go into 10 map, into number 10 or whatever, you have that loading screen or whatever. So it feels like you're going farther, because it looks a lot farther from that one spot, and then you load into 10. I don't know. But you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, maybe that's just like loading screens, like the old games and the loading screens. Like it really like makes things look bigger than it probably should be. Like, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, when we're looking at this at like a whole different perspective,
Yeah, I think they made a good decision, but it does make me curious of if there's another map, because a while ago, I think we might have talked about it. I did say, I think there's going to be another map. It's not just a Citadel, because on the website it says locales. It doesn't say local, right? But the jungle, like, why the jungle? Now, listen to me on this one, right?
Okay.
So
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so the jungle, if you're looking at, it's, I know it's a jungle, but it still has forests, it still has, water. So you could kind of link that towards, the flooded forest and the shrine ruins. Like, monsters in the jungle, I can't see any monster in the jungle not existing in the flooded forest or the shrine ruins, right?
Right.
So most monsters that are going to be in the jungle, I'm assuming they're going to be in the flooded forest or the shrine ruins. But when it comes to the what's it called, Citadel, of course we got ice part of the map where only ice monsters are going to exist, or maybe some monsters who can roam about and they don't care about temperature. But we don't have anything for monsters who like heat.
Volcano, yeah.
Exactly. So why, like, I'm thinking there has to be a third map, because why would they go for the jungle over of a new volcano map?
No, I think you're totally right, because the ice is already taken care of in the Citadel. Yeah.
And we already got something similar for the jungle within Flood Forest and Shrine Ruins. Not saying I don't want the jungle. Like, jungle is great, but I'm just saying, like, logically, from the types of monsters that can exist in it, it's going to be similar. But fire monsters, no, it's not similar. So I'm still assuming there might be a third map. I mean, I can't confirm that, of course, until we actually see it for ourselves, or Capcom announce it. But I still think there's going to be a third map. Yeah,
that's unless they want us to stay in that other volcano map. But like we were talking about before, it's like a more realistic version of a volcano. So you have all the different, you know what I mean? You have like the different areas with the water and stuff. But like we're talking about, like what you're talking about, I think, is like a dedicated heat map. Like,
Big boy heat.
yeah. Like you in like not around the volcano. You're like in the volcano.
Yeah.
Like some in-game
100%.
shit for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think it's almost definite. Like, I mean, we made some mad predictions, and some of that shit came true, like hardcore throughout this whole journey of like talking about Sunbreak.
Yeah, man, I mean, you got Sirius, you got Astalos, like pretty tasty.
Yeah, and then Gore Magala, like holy shit.
Gore is like he's so big for the Monster Hunter community, and definitely since a lot of people joined in Monster Hunter 4th gen, like a lot of people really love For You. So Gore coming back is like massive for Monster Hunter, right? Rise Sunbreak. But I never thought it would happen. Like I remember doing a video back in Base Rise, so I was like, "Will Gore return?" As DLC or something like that, and technically he is DLC. He's an expansion, but like I never thought they would actually do it. I thought that might be something they might save for Monster Hunter 6. To be honest, that's what I originally thought.
I was always convinced. I was always convinced he was coming back.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought he was too big. Like, I just thought he was too big to pass up. And he wasn't in World, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then like we're probably not gonna get laggy. Like that's just not gonna happen.
No.
So
like, I can't lie. When I saw the jungle, I was like, damn it, Capcom. Like Laggy appears in the jungle. He's in the top camp, the top area. He chills there. That's his zone in that jungle map.
I mean, if we get deserted isles, then he's definitely coming back. Like there's no, but I doubt we're getting deserted isles. We don't need it.
I doubt it. No, we don't. We got the jungle. I don't think deserted isles. Like in this type of roster of maps, deserted isles wouldn't make sense. So in my theory, you can't bring Laggy without deserted isles, and you can't bring deserted isles without Laggy. Like they're binded like together, literally. I mean, deserted isles is where Laggy was at. I mean, originally in Tri, that's where you thought he was the one causing earthquakes when it was Shideus, but like I think it's his map, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like deserted isles is his map.
Yeah.
I
don't think there's another top tier monster in that map apart from him. Like he is the one. So
I'm trying to think. Yeah. I know. Nah, it's just classic because you have the Rathalos, Rathian, Laggy, Arzuros, Quirapeko. Like those are kind of the ones. Well, you meet Quirapeko first in the desert, but in my head it's like deserted isles. I think of those monsters. One thing I was thinking about is like since we're getting jungle, my buddy was like, "You better take that back." I was like, "Bro, what if Kongalala shows up?"
Kongalala, let's go.
Because that's another thing. Like, I think of deserted isles when I think of Laggy, and then like jungle, I just think of Kongalala. Like, what the fuck?
You're not wrong. I actually think Kongalala's coming. Like, why not? Like, I think he just fits the jungle. Like, you can't not bring him for the jungle. 100%.
He just fits so like perfectly.
Yeah. Let me have a look at monsters that appear in the jungle.
Yeah, go for it.
Jungle. Let's have a look. We actually got quite a lot of lists. So another one that I thought probably needs to come is Drombos.
Oh yeah. What is he? Is he a brute wyvern?
He is a brute wyvern.
There's not too many of those in Rise.
No, there isn't. And not even in Sunbreak. I mean, what we got? We got Golem. Apart from that, we haven't got any other brute wyverns I'm thinking about. Yeah, we just got flying. We got a lot of these other types, but we haven't got another brute one.
Oh, speaking of brute wyverns, you know what they're saving that fucking volcano map for, right, Nova?
Wait, what are you saying?
Bracky. That's what they're gonna do.
Bracky.
That's
big boy Bracky.
That's what's gonna happen. There's a prediction right here. They're gonna show off the volcano map when they show off Brachydios.
Well, they're gonna remake the 3U map, right? And bring Bracky back. Jeez.
Would they do another 3U map?
Yeah, I think. Oh my gosh, you know what? Imagine this. This would get people way too hyped. But it got me hyped. It got me hyped thinking about it. Okay, 3U map comes back. What does that mean? Bracky, Uragan, which some people are tired about, but he was there. And who else? Ignator. That's his map.
Yeah, that is his map.
Let's go. Come on. It makes sense. It makes sense. Small Ignator babies. Bring back the lava map. Bring an actor. End of story. There you go.
You could bring him back like they did with Basil Geese, where he's just there. Like you're just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like you're just chilling in the volcano. Oh shit, look. Because Basil, they just like put that dude in there. Like I remember he just showed up one day when I was playing, like after one of the updates, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then we got two fucking frozen maps now. We got the Citadel and the frozen area. and little baby Zams and no Zam trios.
Yeah, so Zam trios definitely need to come back. If they're gonna add another frost area, like he has to, like no doubt. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
And
to be
then
honest.
we're already doing subspecies. You can always, Tiger Stripe Zam, pretty iconic, I think.
I think that would be one for the post release.
Yeah. Probably something they stagger.
Yeah,
I mean, they showed us the Lucid Nargacuga, like something that's going to come out later.
Oh my god. Yeah, Lucian is something I've wanted for a long time, man. I loved him. I mean, my first game was Try, right? And then 3U was like massive for me. And Lucian, just endgame boss, tough, strong, invisibility. Like, oh my god, I love that fight, man. It was so good.
Yeah, that dude was so a bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to be a bitch. That's why I liked it. Like,
it was
that
cool.
invisibility, man. Yeah, for sure. He was like my Chameleos, because Chameleos was, well, Chameleos, I guess. He wasn't in that game. He wasn't in 3U, but we had him.
I mean, it's a good way.
He's my first way into invisibility.
Yeah, it was a good way to use that gimmick again, though, with Nargacuga.
Yeah, it fits.
Yeah, well, I want to kind of talk about another monster that was revealed.
Ooh,
that I was super
big
hyped.
Boy.
Bro, Espinas.
Espinas.
Bro, are you kidding me? I was so hyped. Bro, a frontier monster.
Before you continue, did you ever look at the leaks or anything?
No. There's leaks?
Okay. There was leaks everywhere. Everyone was talking about
No, I was looking for some of them, but then like I was reading a little bit and I stopped. But
okay.
I know I didn't fuck on any leaks. Should we?
Okay.
Are we gonna drop them?
No, I don't fucking leaks, but
okay.
Just what I was gonna say. People were leaking, and and like someone in my chat accidentally. I don't know why I did this. He said, "Oh Nova, did you hear that Espinas and Gore is gonna be in the game?" I'm like, I'm waiting for the trailer, man. I'm literally here live. Said no spoilers at the start, man. You're just spoiling it. But I deleted this comment. Yeah, it was annoying. But yeah, I mean, I still couldn't believe that they would do that. Gore and Espinas, and Espinas like a frontier monster, really? Like, damn.
It was about time. The last time we had a frontier monster was Free Unite.
Yeah.
And the reason we didn't have one like sooner was because the drama between like the Japanese players of Frontier and the Japanese players of Monster Hunter. Like it was this big debacle that happened. And like they were like, okay, no more fucking Frontier monsters in the mainline game.
Man, that is stupid to me. Honestly, that is the most dumbest thing.
Well, this is what it was like. So what was going on is that the MMO players, the players who were playing Frontier, when they saw the monster go to Free Unite, like one of the Frontier monsters, they felt upset because they felt like they were obligated to that content, right? Because they're paying monthly, because they're paying for an MMO. So they felt that like, oh, it was like Capcom like stabbing them in the back or something by taking a monster that should be exclusively for them or something like that. So then Capcom was like, fuck that.
Jeez.
Again, this was a long time ago, so I don't know how accurate that information is, but that's what I was told like way back in the day.
No, I definitely heard something similar from, I think it was Rubicon's podcast. I heard them talk about it there. But like, I mean, I get it. I guess you're paying monthly and you want the content to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, as a series, I don't mind them sharing stuff. I mean, maybe it's different for them, but I think now definitely like bring Frontier monsters. Definitely in, I know people say spin-off games. I don't like to call them that, but let's say the more experimental games is what I'm gonna say. So like GU, Rise, like I would prefer if even GU had Frontier monsters. Like I would love that. Like keep them coming. Like I'm good at that. You know,
it doesn't even have to be like direct monsters, because like there's so many different like styles of like subspecies type monsters. Like for example, we were talking earlier about Congalala, right? Well, there's like the lone species Congalala, which is like this golden Congalala that has like crazy moveset, does like crazy fart stuff. Like there's stuff like that that's been locked behind, you know what I mean? Like locked behind Free Unite. I mean, not Free Unite, Frontier. So it doesn't even have to be like whole ass new monsters. Like there's Zenith monsters, which are like super hard versions of the monster, like Zenith, Blaganga, and stuff like that. So, I mean, they don't even have to give us Espinas every time, you know what I mean? But they can use like all these different concepts that haven't been seen since the fucking MMO that you can only play in Japan, you know?
Yeah, I think they need to share the concepts. Like honestly, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. You don't have to, come up with all these new ideas. If you have something that works and been used for a while, bring it back. Like people, Monster Hunter fans love that. Honestly, they do. I mean,
Yeah.
new things are good, but as well, like 100% new things. But if you have something that worked in the past and you know it works, sometimes just bring it back, man. Definitely haven't seen it for a while. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I love the idea of them pulling from Frontier lore and content, because that shit's gone. I mean, you can't play it unless you go in someone's Discord and they give you all kinds of links and shit. And you know what I mean? Like, it's such a big hassle. Who's playing fucking Frontier?
Yeah. The game's dead. The game's officially dead. So like, just take what you can that makes sense and bring it over. Like, do it.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Like, why not?
Yeah.
There's no reason not to at this point. And I mean, they see that. And Espinas is just kind of like that. I'm so stoked for that fucking monster. And I remember we were talking about, like, you wanted more monsters that did status effects. And this motherfucker does all the fucking status effects.
Poison, fire, and then paralysis on top of that. Oh my god.
Did you see that clip? I don't know if I still have it. But, like, was it in one of the trailers or something where that dude gets hit by the fireball? And then he, like, falls down, and he's poisoned, on fire, and paralysis on the ground.
No, I didn't see that in the trailer. Is that in the trailer?
It's in a gameplay clip. Yeah, Espinas is fighting this character, like one of the hunters, and he gets hit with a fireball, and he's on fire, poisoned, and he's on the ground in paralysis, can't move, and then he gets, like, fucking slammed.
No, I love that.
That got me so hype.
Yeah. You know what? Next, they need to add a monster that has fire, paralysis, poison, and bleed. Just give them all. Take all their HP away.
Well, you know what I was thinking? Since we're talking about Frontier monsters real quick, let me pull something up.
Go for it.
I was thinking about monsters that could be included, right? And there's this monster from Frontier called the Akura, like Akura. I don't know, like the car, Akura. And it's the only Carapaestion that's not a crab. It's like a scorpion.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I saw one of my YouTube, what's it called, Discord buddies. She was fighting him, and I was watching him streaming on Discord. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that guy's like, that would be a really cool, because up until Frontier, like online or whatever, all the Carapaestion were crabs. This was the first one that was like a different species. Dude, and it also has, and like, speaking about blights, it has this like crazy blight that's pretty much just like frost blight with explosion, like mixed with explosion.
Crystallization.
Yeah, crystallization.
Interesting. Yes, yeah. I would be up for that. We don't have a scorpion, like you said. There's a lot of different types of monsters that, you know, rather than just adding in flying wyverns all the time.
Yes.
Look at that stuff like this, right?
Right. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, crystallization, hunters will find themselves covered with crystals, which they have to be shaken off to perform normally. Similar to the like frostbite, it also depletes the hunter's stamina to its like lowest level. If the crystals aren't shaken off in time, they will explode. And you have to kind of like button mash to get them off of you.
Oh.
It's a pretty interesting like blight. I think you can throw a sonic bomb too, like if at another player. But like, it completely drains your stamina and you explode. It's great.
They should bring it for the reasons that flinch free is the meta, but now you can't hit your teammates in it, so they can't help you out.
Yeah, that's a good way to like. Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's a good way to like punish the meta.
Yeah, punish the meta. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm sure they're not gonna fix it that much, so might as well punish it.
Yeah, flinch free stuff has always been weird, but yeah, 100%. Like, I think it'll be interesting. I definitely think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, you gotta run flinch free for the most part, like online.
Yeah, in Gen 5 for sure. In old games, I guess you could just, I don't know. I don't know how I did it.
We never really ran it in old, like, because a skill you'd have to get 10 points just for a skill to proc, so it's like,
yeah, that's a commitment.
It's a fucking waste. Yeah, but in like 5th gen, there's no reason. It's one. Well, so like in World, it was like a 3 slot or something like that, and then in Rise, it's a 1 slot. So there's like no reason. I was like listening to some people complain. Oh, buddy, and Monster Hunter fans can complain, but I was listening to these people complain, and they were like, "Man, I can't believe I have to run flinch free because all these longsword users or blah 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 and stuff." And I'm like, "What the fuck you mean, dude? Everything flinches you. It's 1 slot. Like, don't play online then. I don't know what the fuck you want from me." Like,
yeah, man.
bro.
To be honest, I never really played online much in the old games. So maybe that's why I never really cared about it. But nowadays, whew,
yeah, you kind of have to
everywhere. Yeah, you have to.
It's 1 slot. It's 1 slot. I don't get it. People are weird, dude.
But I kind of want Capcom to look at that a bit though, because if it's like pretty much required multiplayer, and it's only one slot, as you're saying, why, why is it a thing? Or is there something they can do to make it, not so obnoxious? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
I think it's perfect the way it is. I think it's okay for it not to, like, everything doesn't have to be super optimized. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get you.
I think it's okay. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a way that can fix it and like satisfy me at the same time. But in general, like, there's some things I just don't like. Me and my buddy just recently got Rise or whatever, so I was helping him grind through high rank or whatever. And I told him, hey, if you wire bug at this certain time or whatever, you'll skip the little cutscene, the little victory cutscene. And he was saying that, like, oh shit, why don't they just take that out? Like, this 2022, why are we getting victory cutscenes? You have to see it like 1,000 times. And
well, that's the interesting thing about like people new to Monster Hunter, like, because we're so used to what it is, we don't really have the concept of difference, right? It's different, is alien to us, right? So sometimes you do need that first blood to come in and point, like, why are we doing it like this? But, like, for real, like, why is this guy spending like 4 minutes sharpening his weapon every couple of seconds? Like, I mean, it makes sense to us, but to other people, it's like, weird.
Yeah.
And some stuff they do point out that's correct. Some stuff, no, it would ruin, parts of the game. But it's still interesting to have, those thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's a struggle that Capcom like really fights to hold up the DNA, because, I mean, we don't have hot and cold drinks anymore, but we still sharpen weapons. You know what I mean? So, like, there's something that's Monster Hunter's DNA, and there's other stuff that's just kind of there. And I think, like, hot and cold drink, it was kind of weird at first, but now it's just kind of like, yeah, we all have, like, superpower. Like, we're superpowered people. Why are we eating hot and cold drinks to not? You know what I mean? So.
True. I mean, for some people, they like that stuff. It has immersion to them. I don't think hot and cold drinks themselves have immersion, but the fact that you're preparing has immersion. Then again, most times I'd forget, and if it was an easy quest, I just wouldn't give a shit. But or if it was a cold map, I'll just bring dash juice. Like, who cares about stamina when you got dash juice?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it is this way. Really.
There's different ways to mitigate it, but at the same time, like, I don't feel that it's taking away from the identity of Monster Hunter that it's not in Rise. You know what I mean? But if they took sharpening away, it would be like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, maybe that would be a step too big.
But going back to what I was talking about, like the little animation skip, I was like, I'm not upset about it. Like, I kind of like that there's still like this little thing that you can, you know what I mean? It breeds some kind of like culture, right? Where you just like, hey, you can do that little skip or whatever, and then another person tells another person, or someone makes a YouTube video about it. So
you pass it on. It was like a story behind it, right?
Right. Because that's like, for me, that's how Monster Hunter has always felt. Like, well, especially growing up, was like the lore, the monsters in the lore, like the story was like what you told each other, like what you told your friends,
Yeah, but basically, think of it as like, we're all hunters, right? And as we play the game, as we go along, we're literally just passing our hunting stories to other people. That's basically what it's like, isn't it?
Yeah, and we always done it. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure you have stories. Like, I have stories. Everyone listening has stories of like, oh, remember that one time we were doing this one hunt and this happened, or you have those crazy clips where, like, I don't know, you like fly off the map or some dumb shit, or fall through the ground or some dumb shit, or just like getting stun locked and then like the monster, or the Rajang.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
I could just imagine like the way we're talking about it, like sharing secrets. It's literally like us sitting around a campfire, with our big ass weapons, like we're actually hunters,
just
sharing stories.
Yeah,
sharp weapons, eating food, grilling, and telling these stories from our times playing the game. That's what it feels like. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd be there. Look, listen, I was fighting this Rajang one time. I swear to God, he back hopped 8 times.
Damn.
This actually happened. I think I have the clip somewhere. Bro, this dude back hopped 8 times. I counted. I was like, 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. 8 times. So sometime, in new gen or old gen?
Old gen.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The stuff they do sometimes, the AI was whack.
So whack.
AI was whack. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Just kind of accepted it. It just kind of accepted it because it was what it was, right? Like, unless someone new came and they said, "Why is it like that?" Then I would be like, "Oh yeah, why is it like that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but to us, it was just how it was. The monsters turn around like literally on the spot. They'll just turn their head around. It's like, to us, it's just like, oh yeah, it's time to hit the head. It's our cue. But for other people, it's like, why is the AI like that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's 2017. I'm playing GU, but I can't tell you anything different, man. There's a lot of monsters, and I like it.
Yeah,
that's what I can tell you.
Yeah, I still go back to Free Me Night and like just have a blast. And I saw this one like Monster Hunter YouTuber or whatever, and he's like talking about Free Me Night on Twitter or something like that, and he said something along the lines of like, I don't know why anyone would play this game like modern year or whatever, but the only time I play this is just to get footage. I would never play this game. And I was like thinking to myself like, holy shit, that's like my favorite game.
Yeah. Guys, out with you straight. Damn, that's rough.
I was like, holy shit, this is like my favorite game. It's so janky, but it's so fucking good. And what's so weird is that like I'll go back and play other games. Like I'll go back and play, I don't fucking know, like Super Mario 64, right? It's fun. Mm-hmm. But fuck, is that game like...
That game is janky, my boy. Absolutely jank. Yeah, I picked it up on the Wii U like 7 years ago. I can't remember how long. It was janky as fuck, but it was fun still.
Yeah, and I'll have fun with it. Like I'll have fun with Mario 64, but I won't play it for days. You know what I'm saying? But I'll play Free Me Night for fucking days.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's probably built like those memories within you, like some inner memories that you can just always go back to and you can just enjoy it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That and Try. Try's probably like the worst.
Jeez.
Like mechanically.
Bro, I played Try. I'm even gonna look at my video right now. I played Try a couple months ago. When was it? I made a video about it. What was it? I said going back to my first Monster Hunter, and it was so janky. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was not. Man, this was ages ago. This was 2021 July. I played. That was so long ago.
Go back. Yeah, like you already said, you went back. But like, if anyone has Try just like laying around, go back and play that shit, dude.
No, man.
Probably the worst, but I love it. I have 3 copies. I've said this so many times.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love Try. Like, Try is great. The problem I have specifically with Try was the controls are trash. Absolute garbage.
Someone was telling me they play that shit on the Wii remote. I was like, what the fuck?
That's dedication, man.
Yeah, I played it with the Pro controller.
Same, but even on the Pro controller, the buttons are weird.
Yeah, you know what's weird? Going back and not having like R3 and L3, like not being able to press down the sticks is so weird. Mm-hmm. Because you could do that in the PS2 era. You had R3 and L3, but the Wii didn't have those buttons. So like playing that controller, it just feels so stiff.
No, yeah, they didn't. Nintendo's always kind of behind this. They're not always behind, but a lot of times they're behind stuff. Yeah, so they caught up.
But that one was like a weird experiment. The Wii, it worked for them. Holy shit! Yeah.
Jesus, I'm just watching myself fight this fucking Rathian. The way that you have to turn the camera angle, like if you want to look up and down, there's only certain angles you can get.
Oh yeah, where it like clicks, like you have like certain clicks. It goes up, up and down. Yeah. I
never got that, but it is what it is. Like I don't know why they did that.
And does that like little slow? You click up and it does that little slow pan, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? Just look up. Yeah,
just look up, man. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. You know what? We got so off track. We were talking about Espinas, and now we're talking about Try. Like what?
That's perfect though. That's great. That makes a good episode.
That's how it goes.